What's up, folks? I'm Odd, by the way, and welcome to my bootleg Pokemon challenge. This is episode 19, but if you're new here, as always, there's a bunch of episodes for you to go watch, possibly after this. If you feel like it, you can catch up, but you don't need to. The basic idea is that I draw these, I select these little Pokemon out of this baggie, which is getting quite low. There were originally like 73 of them. So I think this is, what did I say, like 25 episodes possibly? And we are getting pretty close to that number, which is surprising and insane. But I have fun with this series, and basically what I do is I take one of these little bootleg Pokemon out of this baggie at random, and then I kind of give them like a little bit of a makeover digitally, either based off of their bootlegged nature or some sort of real life trait or just anything I can associate with the Pokemon, some sort of variant, but it's especially fun to just have a random selection in real life and look at these crazy little bootlegs. So let's get to it. So our first selection, let's just dive right in. Make sure I get into the corners here. Oh, you're long. Oh, it's Scolipede. Enhance. It's lacking for detail. Its eyes have seen better days. It's just like red and gray with like two not even solid dots of white on the eyes. I don't think I've ever drawn a Scolipede. I mean, obviously, it looks like a little horsey like this. But okay, a little bug, Gen 6, which I'm not quite as familiar with. I kind of checked out a little bit after Gen 5 and came back around to it, so. Regardless, next selection. Here, this one hooked to my finger. You! Charmander! Well, enhance. Not quite. I think I called this one Larry, the non-copyright infringing lizard. Because it resembles the original art quite a little bit, actually, with the just the two-tone colors and the way that the eyes are. Like, they're a little derpy, but you know, it's not like physically it's not a bad Charmander in terms of shape, I guess, but the paint job is always bad. But in this case, kind of resembles like the Gen 1, like, or maybe not like Gen 1, because Gen 1 was totally colorless, but like Gen 2, where it was like 2 or 3 colors per Pokemon. So okay, that is our next selection. I think that's 2 fire types so far. Would have been a hell of a time to get Grant, but I did already do my favorite puppy. Final selection. God, they're all over in one corner. You. What? Oh, it's Slurpuff. Enhance. Little chewed water bubblegum. This is not a bad print, but definitely not one of my favorite Pokemon. This is, I guess Scolipede is Gen 7, isn't it? This is Gen 6. This is X and Y, which I did play through, but I did not like a lot of the like original Colossian Pokemon. They were not my vibe. So yeah, this is like the Spritzy evolution. I've never drawn one of these. I've never had one of these. Every Pokemon can be someone's favorite, so I'm sure that it is. It's a fairy type, I think. I mean, it was the Gen 4, so there were a whole bunch of new fairy types. But okay. Weird range, I would say. A very rare, like, very kind of feminine Pokemon, and then 2, well, let's say like feminine, masculine, and in between. Really? Right? 3 genders. Okay. I'm gonna try and figure out what to do with those 3, and I will pop you guys over to Speedpan voiceover where I already have, so you don't need to worry about that. See you there. First up is the Scolipede, and I 100% had a moment where I was like, oh my god, did I say the wrong centipede? And no, but I did say the wrong type. Centiskorch is the fire type one, Scolipede is the poison type. Really feels like the designers forgot they already had a centipede, so they were more than ready to call Centiskorch Scorchipede or something, but realized that was too close to Scolipede last minute. That's my theory, at least. Since this Pokemon is a centipede, I had a nice range to choose from. I wound up thinking a blue centipede would be cool. Scolipede Shiny has blue spots, but its body doesn't change much beside that. The blue Florida centipede, which I was inspired by here, has a yellow belly and an interesting sort of metallic blue on the top of their chitin. Their antennae are also very curly, so I decided to curl the Scolipedes a little as well. I've been playing around with posing a little more in my off time, trying to make things look a little bit more dynamic, so I tried that here too. The resulting design really resembled Alice in Wonderland's blue caterpillar to me, and according to the internet, his name is Absalom. I don't know if that's just in the Disney Tim Burton version, but regardless, I gave it to this boy. I'm amassing a little cast of Wonderland-themed Pokemon variants, it seems. I'm pretty sure that was already like a theme for some Pokemon Center merch collection, but now I have my own little interpretations too. Absalom was once tasked with guarding a garden where he patrols regularly, but the garden has since become abandoned. Local kids come there occasionally as a bravery test, but Absalom is usually indifferent to them. If anything, he appreciates the company. Maybe one day he'll leave with them and figure out what happened to his previous owner. Next up, we have the Charmander, another instance of having a base animal with loads of variants to look at. Of course, one stood out pretty immediately, and that was the Fire Salamander. It looks sort of like black coals with speckles of fire on it. I basically instantly decided this would look super cool for a Char, obviously. I wound up calling the variant itself Magma because Fire Charmander felt a little redundant, and the black and orange looks sort of like magma, or maybe lava would have been more accurate. Crap. Oh well. I wanted to pose this like the Charmander was trying to look all big and intimidating because Charmander gives me the most toddler energy of the first trio, and this feels like something they would do, both toddlers and Charmanders. Because of this, I also named this girl Kaiju. Kaiju is the Pokemon of a member for a local theater group. She loves the stage and all the attention that she gets. She was named Kaiju for her very boisterous personality and regularly pretends to be a much bigger dragon than she is. She's super stoked to evolve, obviously, but also likes being cute just as much as being fierce. And finally, we have the Swirlix, not Slurpuff. That is the evolution. Swirlix, my bad. Even though Gen 6 introduced fairies, I feel like a lot of their basic mono fairies were kind of forgettable. I mean, I even mixed this one up with Spritzy too, which is a different Pokemon entirely, or maybe that's just me. If these are like your favorite lines, I am so sorry. I am apparently just very opinionated and critical today. I will say I do prefer Swirlix over Slurpuff. I hope that with Legend ZA coming around, maybe they'll add a third step, because Slurpuff gives big middle evolution vibes to me. I especially like seeing Swirlix more with its little paws showing. I know it's supposed to look like cotton candy on a stick, but I feel like there could have been a few different ways to do it. Since this is cotton candy though, my choice felt pretty obvious. A rainbow cotton candy. I also considered a snow cone variant with a similar color scheme, but I stuck with cotton candy for this one. Initially, I tried to color pick a pastel rainbow directly from a reference, but it still felt too light to me. I wanted that vibe, but more saturated. This baby can fit so much red 40 in it. I went for a slightly darker pastel rainbow, and then some very vibrant hot pink for the tips of the ears, nose, and tail, as well as the tongue. I also went for kind of a pan flag adjacent primary color split for the eyes. Looking at the original face coloring and placement, I can't help but think this Pokemon was supposed to resemble a certain Sanrio character too. Regardless, I named this boy Floss. Floss is a regular sort of straggler that seems to hang around a traveling circus. He isn't any one person's in particular. He obviously gorges on only the candies the most saturated with artificial flavors as opposed to just plain sugar, resulting in his multicolored fur. The origins of his name are dodgy. Either he was called Floss as in Candy Floss, another name for cotton candy, or he just started mistakenly responding to the pleas of occasional dentists who see him. But those are my Pokemon for this week. I had a lot of fun with these, especially more so just trying some new things with poses and making things look a little bit more lively. It took me longer, but that's alright because these usually go by super fast otherwise, and I like feeling like I've taken my time to make something look good. Leave a like on this video if you liked it, and let me know which of these was your favorite. I'm torn, but honestly I do like Floss. He's kind of a perfect example of this challenge, making me draw Pokemon I don't really otherwise think about, and giving me a little bit more of a connection to them. At that though, I'll leave this here, and I'll see y'all next time.